Welcome to this episode of Distance Learning with the Bakersfield Symphony. Our distance learning series is made possible by generous sponsors and donors from our community. This year's premier sponsors are Kern Family Healthcare and Kern County Superintendent of Schools. In today's lesson, we'll be taking a look at the third movement of Gustav Holst's Planet Suite, entitled Mercury, the Winged Messenger. The planet Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system and sits closest to the Sun. You would think its proximity to the Sun would make it the hottest place in the solar system, but the surface temperature on Venus is actually much hotter than that of Mercury, because Mercury has no atmosphere and does not trap the heat the way Venus does. And here's a piece of trivia you might enjoy sharing with some friends. A day on Mercury is twice as long as a year on Mercury. In Roman mythology, Mercury was the messenger of the gods, and was the god of merchants, travelers, thieves, and tricksters. While Holst takes the title of this movement directly from mythology, the winged messenger, he again also draws from the astrological meaning of the planet. In astrology, Mercury represents a person's thought processes and reasoning. It's a little less defined than many of the other planets. As you might notice in your own life, people's thought processes and reasoning is drastically affected by their environments and life experiences. And so in astrology, Mercury is affected by the other planets. This flexibility in its nature and influence make it harder to define and, in turn, more difficult to represent with music. Before providing an explanation of what I believe Holst is showing in his musical portrait of Mercury, let's listen. As you're listening, write down what you hear. This can be anything you notice, what instruments are playing, whether the music is fast or slow, loud or soft, high or low, but pay special attention to the mood or character of the music. What emotions is the music showing? If the music was representing a person, what would that person be like, or what would they be doing? We're going to listen to the whole movement, which is about 4 minutes long, and you can write down what you are hearing the entire time. The music is certainly fast-paced and uses a wide range of pitches, moving from very low to very high. There's also a lot of repetition. The same melody is passed around to different instruments or groups of instruments. The volume also changes when this happens. The opening of the music reminds me of something flying or dancing or darting about very quickly. If it was an animal, it would be a bird, or maybe a deer running lightly through the woods. Sometimes the music seems more carefree, and sometimes more intense and purposeful, but it's always active, always moving. So how does this connect to Mercury? Well, the Roman god was the winged messenger for the other gods, and I can certainly see a parallel in this music for flight. Listen to the opening again, and imagine a bird darting around in the sky. In the planet's suite as a whole, Holst was drawing inspiration from the astrological meanings of the planets more than anything else. But he does seem to take the planet's namesake, the Roman god it was named for, into consideration each time, and this is no exception. In astrology, Mercury represents our thought processes, logic, and reasoning. In both astrology and in practical life, this is affected by our environment and experiences. While the music harkens to physical flight, Holst may also be pointing to the flightiness of our thoughts and reasoning. One day we may think one thing, and the next something else, our minds changed by some event, argument, or even just our mood. The quick changing and moving of the musical parts mirror how easily changeable our own thoughts and beliefs can be. Additionally, there is a section in the middle of the movement where the same melody is repeated over and over, bouncing to different instruments and getting louder or softer, but remaining otherwise unchanged. Have you ever had a big decision to make, and in thinking it over, rehashed the same arguments in your mind over and over again before coming to a final decision? That is exactly what Holst is doing in this music. Let's take another listen to that section with that in mind. I hope you've enjoyed listening to and learning about Mercury. I've got some follow-up questions and activities for you. In the video, we talked about how Holst is showing different kinds of thought processes in his music. What if the music instead was showing what a person was thinking about? Maybe it's a memory, or they're planning out their day, or just daydreaming. Listen to the music again, this time imagining that the music is showing the thoughts in someone's head. Write a paragraph, a short story, or draw a picture depicting what you think the person is thinking about based on the music. Holst's music certainly pays homage to flight and the winged messenger that the Roman god Mercury was. Find another song that represents or has something to do with flying. It can be any song from any genre or time period. Compare that song with Holst's Mercury. What do the pieces of music have in common? How are they different? I gave a few facts about the planet Mercury in the beginning of the video. Do some research and find 3 facts about the planet Mercury that were not presented in the video. The Roman god Mercury was the messenger of the gods. Do some research about what the Roman god Mercury was like. Does his character fit the character of Holst's music? Describe the similarities or differences between the character of the music and the character of the Roman god. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check back for our next episode.